Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. My name is CityZilla, and today we are going to be talking about what the new DLC is missing. And to start off, I gotta say, I do love the new DLC. I think it is fantastic. It is one of the largest vanilla asset drops we've had in a long time. And I know for console players, this is just gold. There's literally so many new buildings and so many different ways to build out cities. And the Seaside Resorts Content Creator Pack and the modern mid-century modern Content Creator Pack are fantastic. I absolutely love them. But today we are going to be talking about what I think the Plazas and Promenades DLC is missing. One of the things that I really like about it is that you can transform any road into a plaza road, or you can create new areas into plaza roads. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen a ton of the videos. A lot of you may even have already played with the DLC. One of the things that I find kind of odd about it though is that they are pedestrianized roads that have bollards. Honestly, in America, it's not super common. You only really see pedestrianized roads with bollards in areas like malls or amusement parks or places like that where you would get like little UTVs that come and maybe pick up trash or something, or maybe a security guard. But generally in these pedestrian zones, you'd have like bicyclists, police officers, and you'd have hearse pickups in some other locations. And so one of the things that I find lacking for it is that you do have to do a whole zone where people literally can't drive. And so after doing some research, looking at like places like Barcelona where they've really grabbed onto the whole pedestrianized streets, one of the things that's a really common theme is that cars can still drive on them. But I think one of the ways that they could fix this is by creating a special event zone. So you could go into your little zoning tab, zone all this out, plop down your respective, utility buildings like garbage or whatever, and it would just allow you to shut down all traffic to that area for a specified amount of time, so that you could do like a street fair or a race or a concert or something like that. And so what we're going to be doing today is exploring a way for us to do that with current mods. And so you do need to play with mods in order to do this, but we will be talking about ways that you can maybe switch back and forth between pedestrian roads to kind of capture the same idea. And so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing we're going to do is jump into our districts tab. We are going to grab our new paint pedestrian area. So we're going to go ahead and paint this whole area as a pedestrian area, and we are going to go ahead and go like this. Fantastic. And let's jump into our service buildings first. So this is really how we are going to try and achieve this. So we're going to turn that off, come up over here. Let's go ahead and place that right there. And then let's go ahead and place this secondary one right here, this cargo terminal. So let's make sure that we, didn't clip anything there. So this is good. This is our garbage pickup and also a small cargo facility, but then this is a larger cargo facility. And so now these would theoretically service this whole area. So if we turn on districts, we should be able to see our pedestrian area now, wherever it is. So if we go into policies and turn on deliver everything, what this means is that buildings do not need to be on pedestrian roads in order to benefit from these buildings. So now these buildings do not need to have delivery straight to them. One of the downsides to it is we're going to get a ton of traffic over here, but because this is a test, we're not probably going to keep this. And so the next thing we're going to do in order to drive traffic to this area, what we're going to do is declare a special event. There's going to be a really big concert. There has been a promoter that, approached the city wanting to do a large concert on this little grassy lawn over here, and the city approved it. And this is something that happens in cities. Like I know in Las Vegas, we have the Electric Daisy Carnival, which is huge. It's at an event, but it literally encompasses the whole city. I mean, it's crazy. But then also Las Vegas has events where they'll literally shut down the strip so that you can walk up and down it. Like I know they do it every New Year's. They're doing a Formula One race next year where they're literally shutting down the strip and turning it into a raceway. And so these are things that, and it would only take a small update for them to, it'd probably, involve a lot of game-changing mechanics, which is maybe why they didn't do it. But I really think that this would be the next step for you to be able to do a special event. So now what we're going to do is jump in here, go into our uniques tab, and we're going to go to our concert. And we are going to first off build a road so that we can build this. So we're going to grab this, go into a 1-unit road, and I really miss our Better Roads toolbar. I'm going to try to see if it's working again, or I'm going to try to play around with the sizes because that was why I got rid of it. It was just so small. I know you can drop down some of the fields for it too, so maybe that'll be something we do. So we'll go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to turn off snapping as well. We'll go like this, and then what we're going to do is turn. We're going to go like that. Let's go ahead and turn down this way too. So we'll go like that, and then let's jump into the Move It mod. We're going to grab all of our nodes, go like this, and then Control H just over here. Perfect. And so now let's go back into our Festival tab. Let's go like this, and let's see if we're like right on the edge over there. So we kind of are. Let's just smush this over a little bit. I think if we grab our road and just bring this in just a smidge, I'm worried about this connection down here, so I don't want to do it too much. So we'll grab that. Now let's move this back. There is a path that is under the road now, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay, and so now we have our lovely little concert venue. And so what we're going to do is jump into paths, and we are going to keep the game paused because we need to do a ton of stuff for this. So we are going to come up here, and we are going to go to invisible paths, and we're going to allow a path to be underneath the road. Let's actually upgrade the road so that we don't have this weird kind of median in there, which people would be allowed to walk on. Actually, no, we'll keep the median there. We can do the path in the middle. I'm not too worried about it. So we'll go ahead and go like this, and we are going to have this follow down and then go over here and then actually go all the way across. And I want this to kind of curve along. It's kind of hard to see without being able to see the path. So we'll go like this. And then now what we're going to do is jump into our straight tab, and we are going to connect this up to a couple areas. So we're going to go like that. We're going to connect this up, and then we'll go ahead and connect up the sidewalk in a couple other locations as well. We'll go like that. And so what this is going to do is allow people to walk on our street. And this is really where, like if they didn't update to the DLC, we would have declared this a special event zone. And now all of a sudden, pedestrians can walk on the streets, any of the streets. There wouldn't be any cars. And so now what we need to do next, since we have connected that all up, let's make sure this is connected up too. So we'll go up this way and then come around. We'll go like this. And let's come up all the way over here to the entrance. Nice, so that people can just walk up over there. I feel like that would be important. So then we will go like this, connect our streets up, go like that. Fantastic. And so we have connected this whole area up now. And so what we need to do is ban traffic. So we're going to go into Traffic Manager, and we're going to go down to this vehicle restrictions. And this actually does take a little bit of time. So the easiest way to do it is grab that, go all the way up here to ban vehicles, and then come back to our emergency vehicles, since we know that the DLC does not solve the emergency vehicles problem. You would still need hearses and stuff like that to be able to come. And so I kind of messed up there. We're going to go like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this for our whole area now. And then I will we'll go ahead and move on from there. Okay, so traffic is banned all the way around. I did end up leaving a road going around because we have that cargo terminal, and I really don't want them to have to turn around on this one unit road. I feel like this is just going to be the best way. It does look like I forgot this one as well, so we'll go in here, just ban this, go like that. Especially with people coming off the monorail, we wouldn't want them to just hop into their pocket cars and start walking around. Let's go ahead and hit unpause. And so now what we should see is all these cars will eventually start disappearing. They're not going to be driving down here as much, and we will start seeing people walk down the middle, which is really cool. So it looks like, yeah, so like over here we already got people walking down the middle. This is just fantastic. It does look like they're floating a little bit. Yeah, that's not something that we would want. So let's see if we can maybe go like this and then lower this down a bit. I guess it's in there, so maybe not. We just kind of messed up that road. So I'm going to Control Z that. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of funny when I did it before, the people didn't float. I wonder if it's because I put it down the middle, but so what we're going to do is, oh yeah, we flooded this area. Fantastic. We're going to let this run out for a little bit, let all these cars disappear, kind of figure themselves out. We'll probably still end up with some of this street parking because these people just kind of abandoned their cars. I think in real life, whenever they have these special events, they'll actually tow the car too, so they'll just go along and tow all the cars. They'll put up a sign that says, special event, the 27th from 6 to, 10, do not park on the street, otherwise your car will be, towed. Let's see when our first event is. So 12/7/2102. We're about 4 months away, which really isn't too bad. So we're going to let this run so that we can get a little bit closer. The goal is for us to plop down some other little buildings along here. I want the path units to figure themselves out though, because the way that this game runs is cars already have a predetermined path, and so because I've banned cars doesn't block the path. The paths just need to run, and then new paths will just find an alternate way. And so we are now driving traffic to our event, and I did upgrade this to level 3 so that we could get that 1,000 max capacity up there, and we got about 520. The good thing is we are having a ton of people use these. I did have to adjust the paths a little bit. I did find out that they were up in the air a little bit, but then I put in some tents. I put in food trucks with some tables. Since this would be more realistic, I mean, when I think of a street fair, you have, these tents with local artists. Maybe you're bringing some paintings or like some bracelets or candles or even food. A lot of times the food vendors will be in here instead of a food truck. But then, you'd have like tacos or like barbecue or Italian food. I mean, it could really be anything in these food trucks. You can literally do anything in a food truck. What I'm most happy about is that it seems to be working. So the reason why we're getting this, we're going to delete this car. That car just got impounded. The reason why we're able to do this now and not before is because of the new buildings with the new DLC. With these buildings combined with the policy, deliver everything, every building in this area now can get all of their deliveries through this cargo service point and this small pedestrian area service point. So now we do not need to have trucks come over here, because before, if you wanted to do this, you could shut down the road, ban vehicles, but what would happen is these buildings would go abandoned because nobody would show up. Like, they wouldn't get deliveries. It would start flagging a lot of problems, and so this is really cool. This is definitely something that I hope that maybe they do an update, like maybe plazas and promenades update. If we could just get our plazas roads to lower the bollards, because I ended up putting up a little fence over here, because what you could do is just select the road and just hit special event. Man, look at all these cars. This guy's trying to pull them over too. So he just got impounded. I don't know what this trash truck is doing. He's going, look at this guy. Like, where is he going? Man, because we got a ton of people walking around. Like, this would not be safe. But if we could just lower the bollards and turn it into a regular road, maybe switch the pedestrian action over to the sidewalks, and then maybe every Thursday you do an event, so you raise the bollards, and then people can start walking around. Like, it would just be really cool if we could do that. I think that would be so much fun. They could probably even do a whole nother DLC with it, just special events where they do street fairs, racing events, marathons, all kinds of stuff, like fundraising events, charity events, it's a really big thing, especially like Vegas. I know I already said that they do New Year's, so maybe you could do like shut down the whole road and do fireworks, so the whole city like congregates on this area, because I know in Vegas it's like crazy. It's actually not that fun to go to. There's just so many people. You can't even walk through because the entire street is just crowds of people. But I think this was a success. I really like this. We're driving a ton of traffic to our special event. And so now all I'm going to do is just let this play out. Let this gather as many people as possible. Let this festival run for about a month or two. I think that's how long they typically run. And then what we're going to do is start watching everybody leave, because I want to see if they start using our path again, because this is really what we're going for here. Okay, so our event was a success. We have a ton of people leaving now, and honestly, I think that this was a fantastic idea. We have a ton of people using our little road sections in here, and this just goes to show that you can place down some invisible paths, use Traffic Manager to ban all your traffic. I put up some little barricades over here, and you can basically accomplish the same thing as the pedestrian roads, but for special events. So this is something that you would be able to change. So right now this is a pedestrian road, and then once we delete all the paths, get rid of all the bannings, we'll turn it into a regular road without the city having to, repave everything or something crazy. And so if you turn this into a pedestrian street, you do capture a lot of the same vibe, and then all you do is turn it back. So like turn it into a pedestrian street and then push it back. It's just not as realistic. The city's not going to, repave this whole road, turn it into a pedestrian road, and then demolish it and turn it back into a regular road. It'd be way more realistic for them to, put up a sign, declare a special event, put up some barricades, even though all these people would be getting pulled over since they're just driving all over this place. But then shut it down, allow people to walk on the streets and, enjoy the event. And then once it's over, you just come in here, grab all your little things, delete all your paths. So come in here, we're going to delete them all, go like this, come all the way down. It does look like maybe we're going to have to go through and delete some more because we're having some issues, though we're getting most of them. So like that's good. And then what you do is just come back in here, delete all of these. Okay, and so we lifted all barricades, all bans. We have removed all the paths, so now there is no walking on the street, though it does look like this person's like popping into a pocket car or something. Not really sure what they're doing. And so now we have retracted our whole pedestrian area. And so what we would do is come over here. Let's go ahead and turn these off. Go ahead and turn that off. Turn this off. And then go into our pedestrian zone and go ahead and remove this whole thing. And now the special event is over. All these buildings can now receive deliveries again. All these people can drive on these roads. All these delivery trucks are very confused. They're like, where are we going? And so what we'll do is come over here and turn this off. And so annually, Canalville does a huge festival called Canal Stock, where they'll get a bunch of the largest artists in the world. They'll come down. They turn this whole area into a pedestrian road. And we saw, it was successful. People were walking around. It was really cool to see. It does look like we still have some paths in here. It's definitely kind of tough to get them all. Like I had to just like delete these. So like there's still some in there. It's just kind of tough on top of the road. It's definitely something that you got to worry about. And so going back through and replacing the roads is definitely something that you might have to do. Even still, I really like it. If they could just update the game, I think that this would be a fantastic new addition. Again, I still really like the new DLC, but I'm glad that could show you guys this. I think that this really opens up a lot of possibilities for us. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you on the next one.